Hi, so today I'm presenting my 20 time project that I did the last 5 weeks on how to make wedding bouquets and boutonnieres. It all started last year, exactly 1 year from today, that I got married and I did a lot of DIY projects at the time. The only thing I didn't make were the bouquets because they were working with materials that I was not familiar with, even the boutonnieres, yeah. But I did, make, the bridesmaid dresses. I did do all the decorations, and those are things that I was familiar with. So having this time during the summer to get into a project that I was interested in a while ago was a great motivation. So to start off, I had no clue what I was doing. So I looked up online, and I used Pinterest and YouTube as a way to record everything that I found. For Pinterest, I created different boards of different categories so I could easily refer back to them. And what I used most was the wedding flowers category, which allowed me to see different colors and the seasons of when flowers are available and the different bouquet types. The videos, they were quite long and some of them outdated. Not extremely helpful, but they were helpful into giving me an idea of how to get started and what I needed to prepare myself for. So here is an example of the different floral bouquets that I considered, depending on the different flowers I had available and which one I would be making. So the bottom three here was what I focused on: the cascade, the pageant, and the round. And and then so from there, the following week, I collected some supplies. So here, this is some of the materials that I ended up using: wire cutter, scissors, which I had, garden wire, and then ribbons. Some I picked up more. I chose a neutral toned ribbon so that I could use it throughout the whole project. And then I had some pins that were left over, some stem wire I picked up along with other green wire so that I could tie the stems together and to use in the boutonnieres. What I found was that it was actually easiest for me to pick them up from Michael's. They had these 40% off, 50% off coupons, which are available pretty much all the time on regular price items. And then you also get additional discount because you're a teacher. If you're an educator, you get that discount as well. So I thought that was the cheapest way and fastest way to get my supplies. And fortunately, at the time, they had full flowers on sale, and they were like 80% off. So I decided to pick up a few extra of those and get started the following week using full flowers. So 1 year ago, during my wedding, I put a bunch of bouquets together with full flowers for the centerpieces for a reception. And then so I had that a bunch left over, and then I put those together with the new ones that I got for this project, and my first bouquet turned out to be like this, which is what I'm really happy with. It's a round bouquet, hydrangeas centrally, and then roses all around. And I thought it was pretty difficult just to fit everything together and double check all the sides, and then wrapping them was pretty easy, but in the end, I'm working with full flowers, so I have no clue what it's going to be like when I'm actually working with real ones. The following week, I just continued to work with more of the flowers that I had at hand, but work with different bouquet types. So here you can see a cascade from the front, but if you change the hold, I was creative enough to do this, you have now a crescent shape. So it kind of falls over to the side, and you can see that the different colors make it interesting on all sides. So if the bride is holding it centrally, people on the side can see the different effects of the flower too. So I'm pretty happy with that. And then I actually had a little bit left over, so I created these wild bouquets, hand-tied, so simply holding them all together and then tying them instead of piecing them one stem at a time, which I did for the other bouquets. And then I also made a smaller one, which has all these white weed-like plants. They're actually representative of the baby's breath that is quite popular right now. So that's what I did for that. And then for the boutonnieres, I made corresponding ones with the bouquets. So I had them match per color and with the same flowers that I used. And I found that actually boutonnieres are a lot easier to work with. They're smaller and, you know, less to hold it while tying them together. And it was just quicker and faster. So I can see how, you know, one person can make, you know, a couple dozen for the whole bridal party and then, you know, take a lot of time on just the bouquet. So in the end, for week 5, I did work with fresh flowers. Here, it's based on one of my friend's suggestions for her future wedding, which will probably happen in 2016. She gave me 2 color themes, and then I chose this one, which was blue, purple, and pink, very dark colors and very vibrant at the same time. And I was really happy that the store that I went to, the wholesale store that's open to the public, had these available, but unfortunately, I wasn't able to keep them overnight properly. I actually, you know, after I cut the stems in water, I kept them in a bucket of water, I put it in the fridge, and that's not what I should have done. I should have just left them out because my fridge isn't a proper cooler for flowers. It needs to be separate from food, and it has to be at the right temperature, otherwise they'll start to die. And that's what I did. It started to die and have frostbite all over them. So you can see here, like, the colors of the bouquets, not ideal. Some of them is like browning already. And and it was actually really difficult to put it all together because the stems were so thick. And then the calla lilies, these little whiter ones, they were so delicate, and I had to use the stem wires, like I said earlier, to reinforce them. And I never done that before. But I did have a lot of options. So I wish I had more time to hunt around to these different shops. This was in San Diego, the flower shop, but there is one in Carlsbad that I wish I had time to go through, but they close like at 3 o'clock every day. And then, and I know the one in Vancouver, where I'm from, it's actually a lot cheaper and they have a lot more variety in just that one store. For fillers, I would completely recommend that getting, like, if you're dedicating to this project, to buy pots of them, and then you could use them endlessly and they last a long time. And those could be bought at like any garden shop. And then for the online pricing, there's online pricing which is great for supplies too, like Amazon. But for flowers, I would not recommend that because you don't know the quality and where it's from and how fresh they are by the time they get here. And I actually worked for an online flower shop before and it was really sketchy, so would not recommend it. Finally, I also made boutonnieres. I made 2 options because sometimes the groom gets a different one than his groomsmen or from the family. So here I used the rose, the same rose, with some extra blooms that I actually found around where I live. And here is another option here with the purple flowers. I checked up on them a couple days later, and they were all pretty in good condition. The colors stood for a while, so I don't have a problem with using these flowers for the day of the wedding and keeping them overnight. They will lose some of their petals, but you know, everything will lose a little bit. But yeah, so that was my project, and I'm pretty happy with it. I learned a lot in terms of using the different applications online. Even this presentation, this is, you know, I learned to use Google Slides because of this project, and this is what I'm using to show you right now. And yeah, and I think, you know, hopefully I can improve my skills and just have more practice so that this could be an ongoing project that could be a business one day, maybe. Thank you.